The seagulls follow trawler. It's because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. Thank you very much.
Talking nonsense. So I thought, no, enough's enough. Why should I put up with that? Talking nonsense. So I thought, no, enough's enough. Why should I put up with that? Don't back down, double down. Don't back down, double down.
Yes, here we go. Why not do another night in a row? It's great fun just now. I love it. The Bhoycie Bus continues to roll. There's live comments again, people. You might notice it's an over 18 show, and the only way you can now comment is if you're a subscriber, which means I get to find out who you are. Oh, it's all fun and games. We might need to do some ground rules, right? Anyone who wants to mention the other pod, make sure you're not putting the A name in there, you know, the word that begins with A, because I don't think they like that very much. Don't mention anyone's name if you're slagging them off. You know, we'll all be able to work it out, so don't be silly. Try and avoid patter, like the H word as well. I don't really like that anyway, and I have said that a few times. So a couple of wee ground rules we're going to set, just because it'll make life easier. We didn't want the live comments coming away. The whole thing that we love this bus for, and I include myself in the loving for the bus, even if that is a bit self-indulgent, you know. But I mean, I love the interaction. It's just what I love, you know, and I don't want to lose that. So for me, we've just got to be a wee bit, you know, I'm all for the bat. And by the way, you know, you could say someone's a silly sausage and they'd be reporting you. Do you know what I mean? It's all pathetic, but just be a wee bit cute in the comments. And I will be reminding people probably for the next few episodes just of our responsibilities to keep it right. But can I just also say, after the live disabled chat, the beauty of being single and, you know, not having many ties is I waited. When was the last time someone actually spoke to Google? Long time ago. I would imagine if anyone ever has, they're a faceless company. Oh, I waited in that queue 1 hour and 50 minutes. Not a problem. I got through to Kate, spelled with a C, interestingly. We had a very interesting chat. Very interesting. I'm not going to say too much, but there's ways and means of proving what you want to prove. The reason that, you know, the chat got disabled was due to reports on various comments that, because basically what you'll see now, Red Baron, right? Good evening to you, by the way. Basically what you'll see is the comments before, the show was not made for kids, but the comments, anyone could really still comment in. So now I've made it, you have to subscribe, and you have to be over 18 sort of thing. It's strictly over 18s now. And basically, I think maybe comments talking about wigs, etc. I've got as in all sorts of bother. I don't know. There was maybe some stuff with swearies in it, and it said, and that's all they said was, even if it's not made for kids, there's still a responsibility. So I've just decided to make the show over 18s only, and you have to be a subscriber to comment. I think it's the best way forward for the channel. I don't want to lose the live comments. And that means if there's any imposters or whatever there is, I can literally go to their profile as there'll be a subscriber on the channel and find out exactly who they are. So that will be a lot of fun. But I did share my grievance or my concerns about Friday as well. And I've asked them to have a wee look into that profile and what they make of it. As I said, I wouldn't want anything bad to happen to the person who's being impersonated, I wouldn't want them to be feeling a bit down in the dumps and that, do you know what I mean? Because they're that famous, people do impressions of them. So I shared some concerns with Kate at Google about that as well. And it's been great fun. It's been great fun. So anyway, it's good to see all the Bhoycie Bus passengers / subscribers in the comments. And you know what? Viewing numbers might take a wee bit of a dun for that they can't come in. Obviously, it's a Championship Manager stream. I don't care about the numbers for this. This is just always great fun. But we'll find out. We might find that the numbers go down a wee bit for putting in these tighter restrictions. But it also means we can say, fuck. Whenever we want, which is always a good thing, isn't it? Always a good thing. So it was a really, really positive day in Bhoycie Bus. A positive week, shall we say. What a week it's been so far. We hit 100,000 views this week. And most important, I became a godfather on Sunday. And then the buses went, do you know what? I'm going to look after you this week, Bhoycie. We reached 100,000 views. We've announced the new T-shirt. Everyone's seen the new T-shirt. I get the sample this week. I've got a motorbike to take a wee photo on. It'll look pretty cool. Well, it might look cool. It might not. The T-shirt will look cool. I might not. We got approached by another potential new sponsor today who seemed really keen. And as of next Thursday, this is an exclusive. We are going to be doing, I think this is the first in Celtic podcast stuff. We're going to be doing a breakfast show. We're going to go live. Now, we all know Regan's been obviously the point of a lot of debate right now. I'll not see him high and dry. He's going to come on now once a week, and we're looking at doing about 8:30, 9:30. I'm going to try and push Regan to get up a bit earlier. I think 8 a.m. till 9 p.m. That'd be a long show. 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. People on their way to work jumping on the bus. What a great way to get to your job. You might even be working from home. And a morning show on the bus, I just think it works. We'll be the only ones doing it. We're the only ones committed enough to do that. And then I don't start my work till 10. So it would give me that wee hour in between. And actually, it might mean that I'm up and about. Got to get the hair done in that if I'm on camera, And for Regan, it gives Regan that weekly show getting back and, and a far better, a far better platform, I think, for him to be himself. And I think, everyone was so impressed with him on Friday. The reviews I got on Regan's display, not only in the quiz, but in just how good he was. So Scott Cameron's saying Bhoycie's breakfast, close, but I don't know if he's ever have watched the closing credits. I don't know how much he's been watching. I've been playing it for a while now, the infamous Chris Sutton quip at the beginning. But actually, if you look at all the wee flashing logos, there's one that says, and it's black and neon lights. The boys at fanboyfootball.com, our sponsor, actually designed it, and it's Bhoycie's Breakfast Bar. That will be the name. I would love if I could like play music to do like a wee jingle. Do you know what I mean? Like a right retro sort of one. Like I can't do the vocal, right? But you know what I mean? Like it would be like just a wee jingle saying Bhoycie's breakfast bar. And like everyone been like that, like jazz hands. But anyway, I can't do stuff like that. So well, hopefully someone can send a song like that. I just think it'll be good fun to do a wee morning show. I'm not expecting crazy viewers with it, but it's us thinking outside the box. And I think as well, what we'll be doing is Regan's got a phenomenal knowledge of broader Scottish football than just Celtic. And I think maybe the first 20 minutes, we're going to talk about the more bizarre stories going on in Scottish football. And like, did anyone see it? Was my mate David Mackay pointed it out to me. Like Neil Alexander, I think, played for Dunfermline and was on the bench because he didn't have a keeper the other night. He's 44. And they had to like, you know, make him an emergency signing. I love wee nuggets like that in Scottish football. And I think me and Regan could do that really well. So Bhoycie's breakfast bar will be happening. Atomic Destruct says Regan is starting his own pod. He's already had his own pod for a long time. You're only as good as your own podcast, but he's right up for being a guest on the bus once a week. And I'm delighted that he's agreed to do it. So it will be good fun. Bhoycie's breakfast bar next Thursday is the target. I'll confirm the time, but that is a wee exclusive. See, the exclusives always happen in the wee Championship Manager streams because there's less people on. It's all about that loyalty coming in to see us at this time. I'll give you the exclusives. Breakfast sells. That sounds like endless sells, but breakfast. You were so close, Scott Cameron, mate, and Friday is getting closer for you to come on the Double Doon show. The breakfast show, is it going to be Monday to Friday? James, I don't think I could talk that much. Even me, that's me saying this. I don't think I could talk about Celtic that much. I mean, as I say, we're going to try and balance it out a wee bit at the beginning, maybe, as I say, make it a bit more fun. And then, obviously, we'll have Celtic connotations towards the end of it. But I've got to be honest, 5 mornings a week on top of my job is a no-no. It'll be a once-a-week Thursday. You know, nearly the weekend. We could make it a Friday, I suppose, but I do a show on a Friday night as well. I think a Thursday. So that's what we'll be doing. Pato says, hello, Bhoycie. When I joined on YouTube a minute ago, I had to confirm as YouTube flagged as potentially offensive. Yes, mate. It's been a decision taken by myself to make this over 18s only. There can be no doubt, no dispute about who can be in the audience. Anyone who wants to try and report comments or anything like that for absolutely diddly squat won't be able to. Also, it means anyone who's commenting has to be a subscriber, mate. So I was changing a wee bit on the bus. And Scott House says, do a music themed one. Yes, I get you, mate. I wanted to do Bhoycie's breakfast bar originally. I wanted to make it. I was going to have unsigned bands on it at the start and then talk about who they reminded me of and then go on and talk about those bands. But, it's not been easy to do that because of copyright stuff. I mean, even Catigan, who did the opening song and gave it to me for free without his vocals on it, the amount of copyright issues I had for that. But I don't have them anymore. I've been completely whitelisted, but it was going to be crazy. Anyway, how you all doing? I'm loving everyone in the comments right now. This is great. Good to see so many of you again. 5th night in 6. I feel like I'm getting the Bhoycie Bus mojo back right now. It's good. It's good. Make sure you make the show at a reasonable hour for those late rising unemployable Red Barons. Oh dear. Red Baron's all right, Chunks. You go easy on him. He's all right. Anyway, Championship Manager, we're going to do the season 2 finale. And we need to win the league. We're 7 clear now. Okay, they've got a game in hand, but I'm sure we will. Pato, yeah, it was my decision, obviously, after last night. Basically, the comments got disabled after 40 minutes. Gremlins at work. The Kremlin at work. Who knows? Someone is reporting a lot of comments that we really didn't need to. And I'm thinking of ways to overcome it. So that's my latest idea, is to go, do you know what? If you want to comment on this, there'll be no doubts about imposters or that, because I could go straight on and check who it was if you're a subscriber. If you're not a subscriber and you're commenting, you can leave this taboo about who you are, which I don't really want. Oh, Scott Howe's wine has just arrived. Tell us what kind of wine. Do a playlist on Spotify if doing a music show. Again, it's the copyright thing, mate. But create a playlist to sell out. Yeah, well, that'd be good. I just don't know what the appetite would be for a music show. I mean, I could stroll a music show any day of the week, twice on a Sunday. Wouldn't be a problem. And I know music people that would come on and do it. I just don't want to lose my Celtic supporting clientele. Or, in Red Baron's case, my Rangers supporting clientele. Craig comes in. Brilliant to have you on, Craig the Gecko Man. He says, it's already a breakfast show here now. I have been blown away by how many folk watch in Australia. I love it, and I'm so grateful. But it doesn't matter where you're from, really, to be honest with you. It could be Albuquerque to Adelaide, Aberdeen. I don't care. As long as you're enjoying the show and you're getting involved in the comments, this is what we want. And that is enough for me. Ian Ramsey, good to see the bus back up and running. It's good to have you on it, my mucker. Paul McFarlane, what a legend. We will always have your back, Bhoycie. You're the king of the road and the pastures love you. King of the road. That was a wee Proclaimers joke there. No, not any Bucky, says Scott Howe. 2 bottles of Rosé. That's all right. I'm having a wee Stella again tonight. Pint cans are great. 4 of them in a night. If you're doing the pod, well, not 4 during the pod, but 4's fine. But let's get on with this. Right. League Cup final, we're not involved. Scottish Cup, we went out the last stream. All we've got is the league to concentrate on. I'm going to need to, seriously try and concentrate on doing well with Celtic season 3, because this has been absolutely terrible. Chunks of my Trunks comes in. What a legend. The Aussies, great people. Tough as fuck and great crack. Love it. Phil McGinley's apologising for being late because I sent him last night the download to Championship Manager, the game that I'm playing obviously right now. As I say, it's a free download. It takes up hours of your time, but in a good way, because you can get through the seasons quick. It's not that these streams prove that, but in general, you can. In general, you can. Full Stella and my wife looks like Pamela Anderson. I hope you're not Tommy Lee. Connor comes out, finally able to catch the show live for once. I'm excited to feature on the show soon. Listen, I can't wait to have all the new guests coming on the Double Doon show. It's going to give us total variation for the post-match pitches as well. I think everyone is liking the fact that there's a bit of a community building here. That's what I want, and a few numbers go down initially for me pulling rank with there could be comments offensive and stuff. And if it dilutes my revenue from YouTube, who cares? It's all going to keep growing anyway, because I think the content's good enough for it to. And I think anyone who jumps on doesn't jump off. And I suppose we all, if we want the channel to do better, the odd wee RT here and there, the odd share on Facebook, it wouldn't go amiss. I'd appreciate it. And if you are wanting to comment, just hit subscribe. If you are watching and you're already a subscriber, hit the like button so it gets a wee bit more traction on the old YouTube and a few more people peer their eyes in. That would be good. I appreciate each and every one of you always. But I hate going on about all that shite anyway. Right, international duty. A current affair at Celtic right now. Yes, Bhoycie, Glasgow CSC. Good to have you on, mate. The Red Baron wants to come on with Chunks. I'd take him to pieces. I think it'd be good. I mean, I think it'd be good part as long as you don't call him a canagrew, unless that's some sort of patter. I'm not sure what a canagrew is. Jimmy Young, has Regan lost? He told him he was leaving. He then got a big text back all about me. He never mentioned me when he in his text to say he was focusing on his own pod. And yet he ended up with an essay back from that boss man, just talking about me. Bizarre. And he kids on. That's the obsession the other way around. Absolutely embarrassing. So Regan sitting there going, what the fuck? He was like, all I said was, I'm not going to come back on. I'm just going to leave it since, basically what he said is, since you've all unfollowed me, I'm guessing. The reply was all about me, and it was all made up bullshit. Utterly bizarre. Regan will be such a welcome weekly addition to the show. I've never known anyone, and I know the guys that have been on the Double Doon show so far will take zero offence to this. I've never known anyone to get the reaction that Regan did. And that's not just because he got 205 points of the quiz. The patter was just good. The chat flowed, which it has with everyone, by the way. But he was just awesome. And you could tell it's something he's done. You know, he's got great experience in that, in the field of talking behind the mic. You could tell that a mile away. And I'm really looking forward to working with. In fact, to be honest with you, it's our first big money signing, if you like, getting Regan. And I mean, from a selfish point of view, as disappointed I am in what's happened, I was only too happy to step up and get him back. I get him a regular weekly slot. I mean, I couldn't wait to do it, basically. The way I was spoke to on Twitter yesterday was disgrace. Just believe what you want, mate. That's the way I see it. I mean, if you believe what they're saying, you believe anything. Complete revisionism. It's all good. I've lost no sleep. The fact it kind of gives you that va-va-voom. See when a wee guy comes on and calls you a freak, and then 2 minutes later calls you an online bully. I don't think they understand what they're talking about, So it's all good to me. I mean, it's just so funny. It's just so funny. How you doing, Bhoycie, says Robot Rock. I am electric. And I feel like this podcast is coming round like a shockwave these days. Everyone knows it. We're cooking with gas right now. There's such a positive vibe in the comments, and a big thanks to everyone who's sent me sort of DMs and that. I mean, it's not like they've ever been like heartfelt. Well, some of them are heartfelt, but I think most of the DMs I get are just like, this is brilliant. I'm sure you're doing all right, mate. And I absolutely am. Scott Howe, Regan's quality, great humour. Yes, mate. What do you make of the signing, Scott Howe, of Regan on a weekly basis? I think it's fell into my hands, but I have won a watch. Yous, as passengers, have won a watch. He will rock the Bhoycie Bus on a Thursday morning. Honestly, I mean, no doubt at all. He's the man. And I think folk forget as well, me and Regan go out for pints. Like, we were at Open Goal December. In November, my birthday weekend, I made a point I wanted to meet him after the Celtic game. Me and Jonathan, who you see on a Monday. 3 of us were out on the dance floor, the lot. Regan spinning around. It was a belter of a night. And it was class. Undisclosed fee, Red Baron. Come on now. Undisclosed transfer fee, mate. Deadline day signing, Regan. You know it. Yeah, that would be good, Paul. Just a signing with me and Regan holding. Or what about a Bhoycie Bus t-shirt? Hey! Thank you, Chunks, mate. And the subscribers have always been with me. And I've been very lucky in that regard to have so many folk join it initially and then keep coming back. I mean, I feel quite blessed at times with it all. Do you know what I mean? But again, I don't think it's reinventing the wheel, to be honest and to be real. I enjoy interacting with you all. That's what I like doing. I like talking to people about football. I certainly don't want it to become I suggest this, and that means I'm right sort of vibe, which I'm not saying any particular podcast do that, but I think it can become an us and them thing with pods. And what I'm saying is I want it to be very much us all the time as a collective doing this together, and we'll share the success. We'll do live events that'll, honestly, I think once we get the first one out of the way, they could become huge over the summer, because I think I've got the patter to be able to hold it live, and I think I'll get some great music for us all to sing along to. And once we all first meet, I think this will go, because I can't wait to meet so many of you. It's frightening. Exciting times ahead, eh? It's just all exciting, man. Positive vibes. It's such an easy place to live in my wee head because it's just all positive. It's great. Brown Warrior, Russell, FS. I don't know what you're saying. Oh, all right. Any side letters involved? No brown envelopes. Nope. Red Baron, get your nose out of Bhoycie's ass, chunks. Well, you'll need to get out to do them, right? I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. Bhoycie taking up the hydro. I mean, imagine. Do you know, have you all watched that Open Goal documentary, by the way? Like the road to the hydro. I don't know. I mean, I found it inspiring when you watched it. I don't ever see the bus being there. Don't get me wrong. I think that's impossible near enough. But you watch what they've done with that. I just think it's something to be a man. Ryan Hall comes in. Hail, hail, Bhoycie from Devon. The bus is the only place to be. You'll need to come to Devon and pick you up, mate, more often. Brilliant to have you in the comments, my man. Alex Forsyth, good evening. Sean the Mac, a Celtic fan with Celtic fans. It's from the people, for the people, from the fans, for the fans. It's what we do. You know it. Alex, good to have you on the bus, mate. Still do that meet up for a pint, pal, but I'll not hold it against you. We'll do it one day. I look forward to it, mate. Big time. Book me a seat, says Gary McGregor. There'll be no seats if we do a live event. Or do you? Maybe we will. But I don't want anyone sitting. I think we should all be standing, having it, man. And we'll get someone up. If you've got a talking point, come up, take a second mic, and me and whoever that person will be, will discuss it and all that. And we'll have some good crack, some good banter. As Diego Tristan makes it 3-0 at McDermott Park as we run away with the SPL League. A bit like Slaney. Chunks, me and you are doing so well. I like Slaney, but I think I'm miles ahead in terms of, like, I've got my brain cells going on. But no, I think I do like him. But, you know. Stephen Coulthard, how you doing, my man? Hope you are well. The Red Baron wants to know where you are in Devon, Ryan, and you're saying Exeter, all good. Favourite pint, Bhoycie? That's a great question, Connor. I'm partial to a Staropramen. I get all that. The problem is, now I ran a boozer, as you all know, I've bored you with. I owned a pub for 6 years, which essentially I know how to interact with people. I've got social skills. You learn that. And what you actually find with pints is you can have a favourite, right? But your favourite pint should be a well-poured one. Too many bars you go in, you might see, oh, I love one of those, you know, whatever it may be. It could be Kronenberg, for example. Love a Kronenberg. How often's that poured through that tap? Are you getting that real taste? Or are you getting some of that pipe in it? You know, because some of that's been sitting in the pipe overnight, maybe even 2 nights if it's not poured regularly. So my favourite pint would always be one that's poured regularly. If we lived in an ideal world and they were all just, you know, getting pumped through all the time, genuinely, you're going to laugh. But a pint of Amstel is outstanding. But to get one in Scotland that's all, like regularly getting pulled through, unlikely. You will not see it often. The reason I say it's because I had Amstel for the first few years I had the business. Nobody was drinking it but me, because it wasn't that popular. But trust me, when you've got a favourite brand of beer, you have to make sure, if it's a pint that is poured regularly, you're not getting an accurate reflection of actually the flavour of the beer, and it can be lost very, very easily. Stephen, hope you are feeling better soon, mate. Chest infection in your bed for 5 days. Well, I know Jackie, who watches the show a lot, absolute, just a brilliant person, has, you know, got the COVID now. I know a lot of people who do. I've got a couple of other mates who've just got it, so I hope it's not the case with you, Stephen. What about hosting it at Barrow and Furness Bus Depot? It was rebuilt after the Chewits T-Rex destroyed it in 79, Russell. The Chewits T-Rex, I remember him. Is that what happened? That is wild. Brian Webster, I just drank whiskey and brandy. That's how I'm sober now. Scott, the wine that he's drinking is only 8%. I don't usually drink wine that low in alcohol, but I'm trying to stay positive. Now, I get what you're saying. So it's all about pace now. But I suppose when you run out of that final drink, you're gutted because you're chasing the dragon by then. But the quicker you drink it, the more of a done you'll get. That's maybe, if it's low content, or just order more. You've still got 28 minutes, Scott, and I know you're tempted, mate. I can feel it in that message. Should I order more is what you were really asking me. Are you telling us there's a Bhoycie Bus? No, there was. I owned one. I owned one for 6 years. In my 20s, it was brilliant times. Like, it was brilliant. In comes Connor again. It's funny you owned a pub. I grew up in one, as my parents owned one when I was wee. It was only mixed pub in there. Yeah, mine was mixed as well, to be fair. Scott, you binned that t-shirt. That's a shame, mate. You should have sold it, son. I'm telling you, that was minted, the t-shirt that you showed us a photo of, mate. That was class. Pato, he wants to talk Rangers. It looks Sevco in meltdown. Can't count. I don't know what that means. More legal problems as June sees qualification of damages, or quantification, sorry, of damages for Sports Direct after Sevco losing the Custody case on the 21st of December 21. I didn't know much about that, to be honest with you. I mean, we have heard for a long time now that they're going bust, It never really happens. I was watching one of the Lil Z, and I talk about his Twitter a lot in the pod, because he's just midnight every night, games on that day in Celtic's history he'll share. Well, provided the Celtic wins, of course. He doesn't put up defeats. That wouldn't be good for his followers' morale. So I get that take that he's got on it. And to be honest with you, when you looked, it was one home game, March. You're thinking right now, you can't get a ticket for the Ross County game at the weekend just there. Sold out. Albeit there was still empty seats from season ticket holders, to be expected, I suppose. But, you look at the highlight to this, and it's March. We've still not won the league, and yet it was dead, like a pre-season friendly dead. Surely we've got to all accept it's a bit better having Celtic Park full again, and I don't know. I mean, a lot of people say it's because Ronnie Dyler was there at the time. Now we all talk about Ronnie Dyler in this lovey-dovey eyes. I don't know. David Mackay comes in. Boys, how's it going, mate? I was talking about you earlier, big man. What was I saying? I was laughing at the fact Neil Alexander, you were saying, is in goal for Dunfermline the other night. Scott, old Scott, I'm down it. That's it. Down it, mate. The quicker you drink it. In comes Timmy Bing. Yes, mate. Good to have you on. Sean the Mac just giving you a big welcome there as well. I love this stuff. The bus is a community, man. Do you know what I mean? Right, we're at home at Livingston. Should we have some fun? I think we should go a wee bit more attacking, shouldn't we? Oh, wow, my tactics are freaking non-existent. Oof. Right, watch. We'll just do this. For a one-off game, let's do that. We'll have a wee go. Stillian, you've got one hell of a shift coming up, son. Alex, he's been good. Naka's been crap past couple of games. Sixes everywhere. What's that all about, Shinsuke? It's not like you, mate. We'll give Saeed a wee shot as well. Right, let's have it. Celtic Livy. Celts on the hill, more Australian viewers. Yes. What a legend, mate. What a legend. Cheers for the emails, by the way. Still don't know how you got my email address, but I appreciate the emails anyway. Really, really kind words, mate. And honestly, I do thank you for that. And it really does sort of give you renewed faith in what it is you're doing. So I hope you're good, mate. And a very good morning to you and all of Australia. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, Scott, why is the Japanese manager saying Maeda is out of condition? He was fine at the weekend. If Maeda is out of condition right now, what? It's like when Postecoglou said after Atati's debut that he's not fit. You're looking at it going, what are these boys going to be like after a break, then a pre-season with Ange? Scary. Scary. And we'll add to that, by the way. And Kyogo's still not played with other Japanese imports. And O'Reilly that came in January. Frightening. The King will not be sold, Philip DeMarco. As you know, oh my God, Nathan Lowndes. 1-1 at Celtic Park and it all goes quiet. That's Kieran Dyer. Good lad. Oh, you're on your 5th pint tonight, Paul. Love it, mate. Good lad. Den Watts. I don't know who Den Watts is. Superb, Chunks. Superb, mate. Seltznell, you're a true gentleman, Mr. Bhoycie. It's not the current narrative, mate. Not the current narrative on Twitter, which is just laughable. But I am a man of the people, I like to think. Do you know what I mean? Without fucking sounding over thingy. I like talking to folk, is what I mean. Right. 20 minutes to go. Saeed, you've been sent off because you're an idiot. The experiment is over. Now we need to do this sort of nonsense. Oh no, easy. We'll do that, eh? I can't believe. I wish you would stop saying about selling the. Honestly, I wish you would stop saying about selling Larson, DeMarco, because it's like when you say that, you curse him. Good on you, Brown Warrior. Not proper buckled on the drink in over 20 years. That's class. Good for you. And fair play to anyone who does that. I respect it. Brian comes in. What a legend, by the way. If anyone you need to speak to, by the way, on a reader of situations that he's not even part of, honestly, frightening. What the big man said me today. You know, outside eyes looking in, I've never known anyone sum up a situation as well as what he has. Brilliant. Made me laugh. Also made me kind of go, that's genius. But anyway, he cannot wait to see Maeda on Tavernier. Frightening prospect. I want to see his eyes popping out again. We all know that nervous look that Tavernier does every now and then. Hard to get overly confident with the 100% fan situation though at Ibrox. I agree with that. A draw would be a brilliant result. And again, I think we would all take that right now. Brown Warrior, here's the deal. We're all peace and love on the Bhoycie Bus right now. Do us a favour, mate. Unblock the Red Baron. He's asking you to. And I don't think it's so he can have a pop. I think bygones be bygones. He's both commenting in the chat a lot. The Red Baron's been nothing but, I think, a decent addition to the chat because it's great having banter back and forth with your rivals as well. It doesn't all need to be hate. You know, I don't really subscribe to all that. I think you should unblock him, Brown Warrior, because you both make good points. And aye, life's too short. Come on. We're all having a drink in honour of you, Russell, our rebel driver. Hail, hail, mate. Rebel, rebel. I've got a David Bowie tattoo, actually. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it? There you go. Yeah, big Bowie there saying shh. Aye, rebel, rebel. Well, Brown Warrior says the issue is that, well, one of you is blocked, one of you is sorted out. I know, Philip. I know. Listen, we've been papped out Europe. We've hardly been papped out Europe because of the King, have we? 7-7 in Europe this year. Last season, 8-11. He's doing all he can to keep us in Europe. You can't blame him, man. Can we? Oh, I don't know. Pato's not had a drink in 20 years. This is brilliant. I might try and do it one day. I might. I mean, I might. Scott, you turned that first bottle already. Oh, Chunks. Red Baron's all right. I don't know why I'm defending so much. He's supposed the worst team in the world, but I do like him. He's been brand new in here. Just be honest. You know what I mean? He's been sound. Class Bowie, thank you, Scott. It's unreal. 12 years old, that tattoo. It's incredible. Bhoycie, do you think we should take the 700 tickets? Yes or no? I say no. Only a decent amount of tickets will do. See, for me, this is all backtracking on Rangers' point of view. So I will be biased here. Not because I always am, but I actually believe this to be the truth. Rangers have made a complete James Hunt of that ticket situation. I thought the move they initially made was petty and it was based on defeats. They would argue now, and this is where I'll give them their due, that since they made the change to having the Broomloan stand not taken up all solely by Celtic, that results have improved for them. And therefore, it was a decision to justify performances on the pitch that they did. It doesn't say much for the players' mentality if fans dictate performances, but either way, they'll say it worked. 700 for me of each set of supporters offers nothing. Does it create the crazy atmosphere that can be created? It's just all a bit meh. For me, the Celtic game, the last one at Celtic Park, we blew them away with the atmosphere, etc. I would just keep it 100% now, unless they can actually bash their heads together and do the 7,000. I also happen to think, Stephen, one of the reasons I'm really against doing the 700 thing is I felt that Robertson was way out his depth. It's okay for him to pull the wool over his own fans' eyes, which apparently they're now beginning to see through as well, because they're all at loggerheads. Well, what I would say is, don't try and pull it over Celtic. He literally tried to say, so we can expect 700 this time and 700 there. Now, unless I got it wrong, Celtic hadn't committed to doing anything with Rangers at that stage. So I felt that was a bit naughty, and he was always trying to ramp up the pressure. And I'm like, don't try and play those games. And I also believe it's a bit of backtracking as well, because obviously there were zero fans at Celtic and they got utterly blown away. And suddenly it's, oh no, we do want to have our fans there. And it's all about stuff on the park. So I don't know. I'm just not sure that I think I'm with you, Stephen. If they're going to do it, get their heads together, get it back to what it was back in the day, or just forget the 700. The other thing is as well, and I know this for a fact, well, I think I do, if you can believe the source. Not that trustworthy now, I suppose. But if we can believe him, he literally had been told by Celtic that those tickets were printed for Celtic to take their allocation to Ibrox, and was literally that ticket allocation was sort of then stopped being given to them at the last minute by Rangers, which I also think was a wee bit of, maybe it is gamesmanship, maybe it's just to gain a slightly different type of advantage. But even if so, it just reeks of why now pander to them when, do you know what, the decisive title game potentially will be at Celtic Park. We could do a repeat of what we did last time, just have 100% Celtic fans there. They moved the goalposts, we don't need to move them back. That's my take on that. Chunks comes in. Absolutely, Bhoycie. I've been to lots of Old Firm games, but the positivity of the game in February was something I'd never felt before. I think that's fair. I think that did ripple through, actually, to be fair. I thought it came over. And I actually always wanted it to be just stay as it was. It hadn't even crossed my mind. As much as it was great fun being a Celtic fan when we were winning all the time, it's great fun because we're winning. I never really took into consideration the fact the fans being removed, and I think it's got a bit petty, but for Rangers to actually start kind of preempting our next move publicly before it's been confirmed by us to our own shareholders, customer base, whatever you want to call it, I think Stuart Robertson actually bit off a wee bit more than he could chew there. And I know he is not the favourite person of Rangers supporters right now, so they'll probably agree with me. He doesn't always get these sort of big Cuttle's right. I actually think he might be guilty of getting a wee bit ahead of himself sometimes. Don't include your rivals in that, which, with all due respect, is a business entity at this present moment, whether Rangers fans like it or not, that dwarfs their small company. You know, I mean, we're talking, it is night and day. So the small company doesn't dictate to the big company how business is going to roll. That is for sure, and they certainly don't get to speak on our behalf. Again, that sounds like I'm giving fighting talk. Genuinely, just being honest as to how I see it. Red Baron, away fans are paramount at Glasgow Derby games. I mean, I always like the spectacle with the 7,000, but are you saying away fans are paramount with 700? They're not. It brings nothing to the table, really. Like, you know, it doesn't create the spectacle. And to be honest, I felt, as a Celtic fan, I'm going to agree with Chunks in the fact that I thought the spectacle the Celtic fans put on is just a 60,000 thing really was spectacular. And I dare say a lot of Rangers fans at Ibrox, you know, in the first game of the season, may well have felt the same. By Webster, those old 7,000 away fans games were phenomenal. I think it makes sense to either do that or just shut up, you know, shut up shop and go your own way. Because the 700 tickets is such a small number of unlucky Celtic fans that are missing out to accommodate your biggest rivals if it's 700, you know? Such a small number. I don't get that. You know, I would much rather you bought your season ticket, knowing fine well, your seat, you're not going to get the Old Firm because 7,000 of them take up that space. You know what season ticket you've bought. I do also appreciate the argument, why shouldn't you just sell 60,000 season tickets and have 60,000 there every home game? Or the minimal amount given away. But as I say, I feel the tit for tat with fan allocations really was started by Rangers, and that's not me being a baby about it or trying to be, you know, oh, it's all unfair on us. I'm not really like that. I just think in this instance they've made a bit of an arse of it, if I'm honest. And I'm not quite sure I understand how much it's benefited. They might say on the pitch it has benefited them in the past couple of years. Well, just leave it as it is then in that case. But don't speak on Celtic's behalf that it's going to change the other way. Connor says, take the 700 and give them nothing at Parkhead. I did allude to that on Twitter as well, mate. I mean, it's a bit petty doing that. But I could see it happening, you know. Mind that time you told everyone we were giving you 700 tickets. Well, we'd never told you that. Don't go public and talk about us, but cheers for the 700. I don't think Celtic have got the balls to do that, to be honest with you. I know that sounds really shite talking about my own club like that, but I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced we would do that. I'm really not. Fred's getting a few questions about it. Chunks are ready. A hotel room and some expensive champagne. Absolutely they do, Scott. They absolutely do. You're spot on, mate. I know it did start with you pumping us, but we just need to move on. Red, this is what I'm trying to say to you, though, mate. Not just you, with everyone. Yes, we do, potentially, we do need to move on. But that moving on doesn't include Stuart Robertson talking on behalf of Celtic before a decision's been announced publicly by, it could either have been by both clubs at the same time or whatever. But my understanding is Celtic actually hadn't agreed to doing the 700 thing. And he sat there on camera on Sky saying, yeah, we're going to offer 700. This was about 5-6 weeks ago. And we're going to get 700 back in return. That's not how we move on, right? That's not how it's going to move on well. That's just going to create that friction again. And maybe he's just poor at the relations right now, and he's having, you know, the media relations right now, because I guess he's not flavour of the month with your good self either, mate, for other reasons. Would there be a fine if we said you're not getting in, we can't guarantee your safety? Sutton Esco. I mean, that is the thing. I mean, theoretically, why could Sutton could be getting regarded as, that could be a fan. I don't know. The Sutton stuff's embarrassing as well, I suppose. Not that I think our Chris will have lost much sleep. CMO 102 Legends comes in. Yes, mate. Good to have you on board. I promise you we've been focusing on the game. We kind of have. We've been having good chats. Good chats about all things Celtic Rangers as usual. But if you have a wee look at the league table, CMO 102 Legends, 7 points clear, 4 games to go. It's looking tasty. What does tasty mean? Feisty combined with tasty, I think I was trying to say there. But yeah, Celtic v Hibs. Lanky, the voice of reason. When teams play away, they get 10% of the capacity no matter what. No. Well, that can't be the case, though. Because 10% of 60,000 would be Rangers get 6,000. There was no one there at the last game. Surely, is that how it should be? I mean, I didn't know that. I love you, Lanky, so I'm not trying to disagree with you, mate. I'm not sure that's right. I'm trying to think, but I'm not sure. Look at Martin O'Neill. Leaves Chelsea 4th in the Premier League for Arsenal, who are 10th. Switches the London divide as well. Martin O'Neill, you rascal. Love 100 goals season. You know it, Legends. Are we on 100 goals? Oh, yes. 100 goals Celtic have scored in 34 games. Not bad going, considering we've been absolutely murdering the Cups and Europe both seasons. I can't believe Philip DeMarco still thinks Henrik should go. Paul, did I hear that if Rangers don't take part in the Anjozi tour, they get fined closer to £3 million? I've not heard that. I'd be surprised at that. I mean, I don't think they'll be there. I think the fans are... I mean, I think the fans are talking loudly. As I've said, I mean, I know, again, I'm being a bit mischievous with it when I said timing is everything. I actually think there was a strategy with Celtic announcing that tournament. I think it is undoubtedly a Celtic arranged tournament, or Celtic have been the club approached for this Sydney Cup and Angie's Australian homecoming tour thing, with TV companies lining up that sort of gimmick to sell, whether it be subscriptions or get viewers, whatever it may be. And to be completely honest to you, I get why I wouldn't want to be second fiddle to that. I really do. I've got a feeling that such of the protests, they may well pull out of it. If there is to be such a thing, Paul, I've not heard of that. And you know what? No wonder they wouldn't pull out if that is the case. I think a lot of their fans, and if that is the case, they should probably just come clean and say, look, this is the position we're in. It's not just the fact we're making 3 million, but it's going to cost us 3 million to pull out now. Because we committed to it. We are sorry we committed without having dialogue with the fans. I think that open transparency with the supporters might actually do them the world of good. If there is no fine, like you're discussing there, Paul, it wouldn't surprise me if it doesn't go ahead, because it is toxic there. But again, as I say, I can't help but feel that the organisers of the tournament at Celtic seem to have picked a moment to announce this tournament. Like, it very much seems, they knew, Celtic would have known, the TV companies, on the second the Sydney Cup was announced, that the main TV players in Australia were going to call it Angie's Australian Homecoming Tour. That's not news. Like, that title wasn't something Celtic wouldn't have known was going to get branded about. I can't help but feel it's all very deliberate. Timing's been everything with this one. And do you know what? It's kind of genius on Celtic's part, if I'm honest to you. You know, you look at the Dundee game, they were at loggerheads with each other. The second half's getting delayed. The first half, they didn't have a shot on goal. Even a penalty, there was never a penalty they missed. And, you know, the delays with the tennis balls. And I get the fans' frustration, I'm not slagging them off for it. But a club and the fans at loggerheads, when you're in a really tight title race, it can't be ideal, can it? You can't help but feel they've played a bit of a blinder with this one. Paul McFarlane's back in. He says SPFL rules state that a club has to give away support at least 700 tickets for their ground. This rule is recently reinstated after COVID in the red zone. See, I wasn't sure about that. The 10% thing, though, I'm focusing is because of cups. Fair enough. Again, I generally actually don't know. Oh, Paco Luna scored at Celtic Park. Remember him? Paco Luna, Spanish striker. James Maguire, give him the marketing manager's job at Celtic Park. Very clever. Yeah, I mean, Celtic have been known in the past for the sort of all yellow, even lighter yellow ones, such as the Bhoycie Bus thumbnail tonight. I don't know if you've noticed that if you were in the waiting bit. But you know, a lighter yellow with a green trim, replicate the Australia kit. James, that's just clever. You're absolutely right. I think that's worth a bet. If you could get a bet on Celtic having an all yellow kit with green trim, you know, green at the sleeves, you know what I mean? Like round the bottom of the sleeves and round the collar, maybe even the buttons. Aye, that's definitely happening, mate. That is the kit next year. You're spot on. You're spot on. Wish I'd thought of that. Right, we are going to make this the last game of the stream. We are approaching an hour. It's been a wee bonus show tonight as well. Thank you to everyone who's watched. I appreciate that the old, you know, you might get the odd flash now when you're joining to say it might be offensive and stuff like that. But I've got to protect myself from these idiots, you know. And if you want to comment now, you won't be able to be, you know, kidding on. It's not you or someone else using your account, which I think is maybe the more likely one. You're going to need to be a subscriber. And if you're a subscriber, I can then find your profile instantly. And folk won't like that if they're trying to play silly wee games. And because it doesn't matter who it is, by the way, you know, see, regardless of the tit for tat or whatever he wants to call it. And, you know, the only argument saying people are dim and people are deluded for thinking someone with your name and your picture is you, I find that quite a weak argument as well, to be honest with you. It makes no sense. But what I will say is, let's just say it wasn't them. Whoever's done that, all they've done is cause havoc. If it wasn't them, I'm not saying I believe that. But what I want now with the new format is you've got to be a subscriber. It basically means I've got YouTube up there. The second you comment, I can click on you and I'll know exactly who your profile is and I'll know exactly who you are. And if there's any more imitation accounts, then I'll be able to identify that myself and there'll be no more limbo on it. So it's a wee bit of a shot across the bow for anyone thinking of doing something like that in the future. I'm going to leave Chunks of my Trunks and Red Baron to settle the differences over a glass of wine tonight. I'm sure they will. We've got 3 games to go. We're 7 points clear. Well, we'll just play the next game and win the league, and then I can just do the rest all fair, and then we'll be like, it'll be season 3 the next Championship Manager stream we do. Yes, that is what we'll do. They'll be raging. Someone will be raging, Scott. Whoever it may be, someone will be. Lanky comes back in. In UEFA competitions, there is a specific proportion of seats allocated to the visiting team. I think it's 15%, subject to a specific number of tickets in a given seating category. I like being educated on stuff like this. I genuinely don't know. So, like, that's got to be initially offered. And then say it was, I don't know, a Ross County. They'll just instantly reply saying, we foresee us taking 500. Is that how it goes? We'll play one more game. We'll win the league. That's what we'll do. And then I'm going to do some summer business tonight on the old championship. I'm just going to play it for another hour off air. And I'm going to do some business because it's 10 o'clock. I don't want to be keeping you up too late. Yes, Red Baron. Brown and the Red Baron are pals again. Love it. Sean the Mac, great night, boys. I really appreciate it, mate. Honestly, I love it. I love what we're all doing here. I really do. And oh look, could we win the league at Ibrox? All right, don't leave. Stay. The party starts now, Red Baron. Or it could start now. I've just preempted it now, didn't I? Damn. But this could be it. Oh, Chris Sutton's not fit. A few days with a bruised rib. Come on, Sutton, you're better than that. Come on, Chris. Jelly and ice cream, says James. It could be. Stephen Coulthard, yes, win the party at Ibrox, Bhoycie. Scott, I'm feeling the love too, mate. I'm feeling the love, mate. Definitely. Definitely, big man. It's just lovely to see, isn't it? Me and Scott Howe will be ushers. Hey, Scott. Alex, I kind of want to play you, mate. I think we're going to need to bring you into the fold. I know Mark Kerr's everyone's wet dreaming championship manager, but he's not for me. He's not for me. I just signed him because you've kind of got to. Here we go. Come on. We won't. We get beat off them all the time in this. Oh, Shutsuki! Alex, we love it. Hey, it is. Oh! You're never gonna believe it. You're never gonna believe it. We're gonna win the league. Oh, this is great. This is great. Can you hear the Rangers sing? No. Flow. Oh, no. Oh, Diego. Oh, no. Craig Moore. Get that keeper off. Henrik's so unfit. Chris Sutton makes you look fit, mate. What's going on there? We're close. We're close. Oh, come on. Oh my God, we're going to make... What are we doing here? Get Saeed on. Get Naka off. Yep. Oh. I feel like William Wallace, a bit of a hold. Hold. Hey. Get in there. Oh, this is great. Connor says much better atmosphere, getting involved in the chat as opposed to being a passenger. Brilliant, mate. And that is why you've got to be a subscriber now to comment. It's the best way. Keeps it tight. As I say, I'm not that petty that I care about viewing numbers and stuff. I know the community that's getting built right now. The viewing numbers will come as more people accept the different style that we're going for to get in the comments. I'm not having my comments getting disabled because of some wee pricks. Put it that way. That'll not happen again. The rules are there. They are laid out. And my eyes are on the comments so much now, it's unreal. Anyone tries to pull the wool over my eyes again, I'll be 2 clicks away to find out exactly their account, and it will be reported, and we'll find out who it is. So the goalposts have moved on that. And as I say, I thank Kate at Google Help last night. I waited 1 hour, 45, 50 minutes to speak to her. I always get to the bottom of stuff like this. I've got loads of time in my hands. It's brilliant. And, you know, anyone trying to be too smart for their own good won't get away with it for too long. Boys, girls, it's been outstanding fun tonight. Thank you all so much for joining. All that's left is for Chris Sutton to talk. Then the best song in the world kicks in. And we all think that night out together, it's getting closer. It's getting closer. Thanks again, guys. Championes, you know it, I know it. Come on.
Some of his comments about me deliberately trying to cause controversy. Well, I work in the media now, and you've got someone sitting there next to you who's an embarrassment to the media profession. He's an apologist. He's a charlatan.